family, welcome to MaatSpeaks and welcome to another episode of Maat Wednesdays. I am so happy that you joined me again today as we continue to dive deeper into the principles of Maat. On this channel, MaatSpeaks, we aim to bring Maat, also known as balance, back into our communities through the 7 principles of Maat. So during Maat Wednesdays, we take a deeper dive, and so that we can learn how to apply these principles in our daily lives and use them to build unity in our families and community. Remember, we are attempting to construct a code and culture in our communities through the principles of Maat. So this week we're actually going to jump right into the topic here. So if you missed any of the past videos during Maat Wednesdays, I do suggest you watch those videos, catch up, and remember to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell so you never miss another video or live stream. We will continue reading from the book of the 14 Keys, Power, Unity, and Success Unlocked. So even though Kwanzaa is over, remember that Nguzo Saba principles should be applied every day of the year. Today, we will continue discussing those principles, how we can apply them every day of the year, and we will be continuing to unite those with the Ma'atic principle. So today, we'll be uniting the Ma'atic principle, even-handedness or justice, with the external principle, Ujimaa, which is translated as collective work and responsibility. Remember, from a previous episode when we discussed even-handedness or justice, we discussed how we rise each day, we look within, we judge ourselves, and we also judge ourselves before we rest each day. So how did that day go? Did I live up to those principles? And we ask ourselves, have I lived up to my own moral code, or to a moral code that is helpful to the continuation of the universe, the planet, and to your community or your tribe? And furthermore, as a collective, remember, it is important to understand that balance is only achieved in a community if justice is achieved. So remember to check out that video if you haven't seen it or you need to refresh on justice. That video is called No Justice, No Balance, and that will give you a more in-depth discussion on justice being achieved in our communities. So the principle Ujimaa is stated to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems, and to solve them together. Collective work and responsibility preserves the health and safety of each individual and ultimately the collective. Our survival as a collective is predicated off of each member of the collective that calls each individual to use their gifts, strengths, and abilities to meet the needs of the family structure and community. So within this family and community structure, our sisters and brothers' problems become our own despite socioeconomic status. Now, it is very important that a code is established in order to identify those that are ready to work for their mission. So those that are committed to the group. And with that, we achieve the goals that have been established to move our community forward. Ujimaa not only calls for us to establish a code and culture, but to enforce it. Because far too often, the building of our community is undermined by confused souls that promote confusion, immorality, individualism, disease, and death. So as Chief Yua states, if someone is known to be a traitor to their people, Ujimaa calls us to shun them and inform our loved ones of the potential danger they present. So let us apply the Ma'atic principle, justice, or even-handedness, to the Nguzo Saba principle, Ujimaa, from the Book of the 14 Keys, Power, Unity, and Success Unlocked, by Chief Yua. Even-handedness, Ujimaa. Responsibility is the anchoring concept when these two ideas connect. A true community builder takes responsibility for their station, even if they are not to blame for their condition. Community builders need no one else to see their point of view. The accountability that we can feel for each other primarily comes without intellectual justification because it is primal. Consider the instinctive sense of protection that a parent has for their offspring. This level of care cannot be installed via intellectual assent. Collective even-handedness instills a person's sense of belonging. Early on, children are motivated by reward or punishment within public environments. The accepted longing for reward or fear of penalty causes a child to look for validation from the public institutions. This, in and of itself, is not wrong if that institution is created and controlled by the adoring community the child sprang from. The way children are treated by a group, whether it be fair or unfair, is the indelible mark that stays within the psyche of a child even through their adult years. Children tend to look for conformance across the board when it comes to reward or punishment and expect some level of treatment typically. When this does not happen, they are quick to feel like disaffected outcasts. Justice or even-handedness requires us to look for the suitable thing to do in the appropriate moment. In this way, it is very similar to the law of righteousness. However, as justice moves to collective work and responsibility, it uses the paradigms of who the community needs right now to pronounce what the rewards and punishments should be and which actions are acceptable. The who is created via reward and punishment. Even-handedness is the administration of the law. The edict that is enacted among a social group becomes the spiritual disposition of that faction. Law is incarnate spirit. This means group perception and conception of justice, even on an individual level, becomes the living spirit of that group because of its potential to define a group. Even-handedness also provisions the jurisdictions of a group. So if that becomes the spirit of the group, the drive of collective work and responsibility produces the same exact character of the spirit of law that is passed forward from the administration of the law of the group collective. Ujimaa creates intergenerational stability, accountability, and a sense of inclusive value among individuals. That is the end of the chapter. Next week, during Ma'at Wednesdays, we will link the principles of righteousness and Nia, which means purpose. Again, if you would like your own copy of Chief Yua's book, the link is in the description. Comment below, family, and give me your thoughts on how we work together to create a code and culture in our communities. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you for watching. Peace, family. See you next time.